it becomes a lot easier to make those plays happen when Lilia roams in for those ganks. So I don't hate the composition actually here for Nongshim, although it does feel like it's a comp that is less stable than what Hanwha Life Esports got. They've got the picks that they like. And then, you know, Skarner is a bit of a question mark here, but otherwise, you know, I like Chovy's Azir. I like Deft on Aphelios. Of course, they have Aphelios Thresh. Dudu's Renekton is one of his more popular picks, so feels like Hanwha Life Esports got everything they wanted here.
Yeah, and I do want to enlighten you on another stat. This is actually the first time Deft has played Aphelios this season, and that means that he's up to 10 unique champions alongside Chovy.
There you go.
So this is definitely good, as Vista is once again playing the Thresh. He's only played it a couple of times outside of this, but I remember him having some heroic showings on the champion as well. Certainly some interesting drafts. I think,
when I first came to Korea, the taxi meters would have a turtle that transformed into like a hare and then a horse. I'll hold that thought.
Chovy? I don't know whether he was looking at where he was, as he is just going to die. Not going to use the flash, and that was a whoopsie. Certainly going to be an option, but you do need to get level 6 for that. And in the meantime, the Sand Soldier is going to be very frustrating. Arthur's going to jump on in here, though. He's looking for Peanut. He's snagged by that Q just a little bit. And Smite is picked up for both of these players, so we'll see who's going to win that 50-50. As right now, Peanut just playing with Arthur a little bit, but does get the stun. Smite goes down as now Kellen crashes on in. Vista, decent playback, but Arthur is just going to go down. The early rotation over from Bay is pretty obvious as Deft gets over the wall, but is still going to die. Vista's going to do the same thing. And what has happened to Hanwha Life Esports?
Yeah, this is
a disaster
this
completely.
Is terrible. Can't win this anymore. Meanwhile,
what the heck? Now he's on the other side of the map trying to steal something away. He's dead. The red buff is going to be there. Dudu can't help it all, and I just don't know. Off screen, he might have just assumed that Rich was going for a bit of a cheater or something like that. But I mean, you can't take that risk after already, you know, throwing your life away in the enemy jungle on the other side. Like, I don't know. So it's a 3-buff start. He was able to get a scuttle, so at least there's that for the Skarner. He's also landed in the mid lane as well, as Bay is very, very competitive.
He's got 6 already, and he's like, oh, well, I've got Rel too, so guess what?
Yeah,
making a play.
Deft does have the Gravitum, so it does stun up Peanut for a little bit, but the Watch Out Eep is so scary, and he's just so fed. It's ludicrous. Throws a bowling ball, picks up the kill easily, isn't even needed for this dive on the bottom side as Bay. He's got the Haymaker, so he'll be totally okay as well. And Nongshim, they're snowballing very effectively, but we still have to go back to the fact that
Lilia is just going to be out-rotating, and Arthur doesn't have his ult yet, still.
And he's still counter-jungling. All right. Well, he does have the Crystalline Exoskeleton, gets to run away real fast, and Dudu is here this time. Flash away from a bowling ball. That's how scary Peanut is right now. Bambi is angry. Certainly helping out the Scorpion up here towards the top side. Vista making a roam over, as, getting over this river is something that Arthur is really struggling to do this game. And Kellen and Peanut also going to turn up here. They're going for a bit of a dive, but they're going to have to get it done pretty early. As I think the Crystalline Exoskeleton is in. 4 members up towards the top side. Bay moving on in. He's at half health, but he's set as well. Chovy moving on over. Already Peanut has been shut down. Oh, that's some greed. That's there it is right there. Flash and Pale is so easy, and this is the most dead as Samira's ever been. She is. Oh my god, the damage! As Dudu's gonna have to be called in. The teleport comes on up, and he does find the stun. But man, that was so close to a turnaround. Sometimes you forget how ridiculously fed Samira can do, as Chovy's going to throw Bay towards the rest of his team. There's that showstopper that we were talking about, and there's the Watch Out Eep. You've definitely got to watch out for it this time around.
Yeah, you do.
He's going to get red buff slowed and hunted down here by Peanut. But thankfully, there is still a turret here. Deft trying to turn it around. Calibrum is in. Rich comes in. And Bay's now looking for more. Great 2-man face breaker, and the AoE damage is massive.
Stars is actually really well. Okay.
This is dead. You can keep going.
Yeah, so he's actually had some pretty nice rotations over, and it feels like Set might be his champ. Like, you know, Bay is on the perfect place right now in this team fight to grab somebody.
Yeah, this is the scary thing, right? Like, the engage from Nongshim is also just so scary.
Is it Peanut?
Oh, Chovy's off to the side. He gets body slammed and taken away from the lantern, but is able to pick that one up. Now flashes over the wall. Kellen right in amongst it and gets so much value with all his CC. The Skarner and Thresh just die as an afterthought. The Emperor's Divide's good there from Chovy, but he's still getting closed in on, and this is looking like potentially the ace unless Dudu can just run away. Chovy also, trying to be a bit of a hero here as far as an escape artist act is concerned.
He's done everything correctly in every single team fight.
Well, Arthur's going to go for the Hail Mary. Looks once again for Doc Dom, who gets pulled underneath the turret. Gets taken down to half health, but then just flashes on out. Even takes a turret shot. It looks like he's going to be okay. Good flash there from Kellen. Gets him out of it, but there's a Crocodile lying in wait, and Cole the Meek is going to work out for him. Cask is a bit of a party there for Rich, who's now going to have to flash away. That's one pick, but it's in trade for one anyway. So you're probably not necessarily too excited about it. As Nongshim now moving on over. The Phalanx has been set up here for Harmor Life Esports. They'll take down the turret, but what are they going to lose for it? Great barrel! Brings in the Skarner. He's just going to die. There's a bit of an afterthought. There is a lantern right there. Depth is going to pick that one up. Dudu's pretty big. As Docdom gets the ulti, but isn't actually able to get too much work done. As Chovy now off to the side, shifts some sands trying to get away, but Peanut's real fast, flashing on forward. Bowling ball will miss, and another lantern will be picked up. But now Depth has been closed in on it. The set is going to be taken down as Docdom trying to take matters into his own hands. Rich closing in from the top, Kellen crashing down over the wall, and another bowling ball will connect. Good exhaust onto Peanut there as Depth trying to kite, but he's not going to be able to do it. The Samira locks him down. Vista's now under a turret, misses the hook. That is now, he should be safe. But I don't know whether the Baron can say the same.
I mean, Renekton is actually pretty good into this comp, but not when you're this far behind. Not when the damage output is so insane. 7-1 and 4 Duck Dom. Peanut's damage, you saw it just previously on the graph. You highlighted it.
But it was scary in the early 2v2, right? That's what was scary about the Renekton. And I feel like, the early 2v2 didn't exist. As there's the Stride Breaker. Vey getting on in there. He's going down pretty low. Dudu's still pretty strong. Depth trying to stay unhit towards the backside and lands a great Moonlight Vigil. Dudu's still alive and has a lantern. The extra shield there as well makes him very strong as Peanut is going to be taken down, not before doing a fair bit of damage. But Harmor Life Esports just won a 5v5. And after that happened, right, the whole thing's turned on its head. And you don't necessarily talk about how team comps interact because you're not supposed to get to a position where Nongshim don't have just obscene amounts of money and run over the top.
Vision of Arthur right now.
Well, he is over to the side, does have flash, gets on in there, but he's unable to lock down the Drake, and that's Mountain Soul now on this very tanky Nongshim team. Already the Skarner is going to be taken down. That's the double kill for the Samira. The resets are coming in as Peanut finds Vista over to the side. Chovy's going to die as well. And I think, Hanwha, they had that one fight that was pretty good. Now they've been aced. And now the Baron will fall, or they could just run it up mid.
You can't fault him for where he's at in the mid to late game because he's just so far behind he can't do anything.
I mean, the mistakes have already been made, right? Like, it doesn't really matter what he does from here on out. Exactly. Kellen's going to dive on in, and look at the health bars melt. This is just beautiful. From Nongshim Red Force, the Samira is doing those fed Samira things, and it's pretty disgusting. Dudu makes it onto the fountain. I think try and preserve the KDA here, buddy. That's what I'd probably do. As he is going to get back there. But the Nexus turrets, they are melting at the hands of Nongshim, and they have come out. It's a bit of a tour de force here for Nongshim, but I think a lot of it is a little bit reliant on Harmor Life Esports not necessarily figuring themselves out in the early game.
His damage, he was actually almost the highest in the game. Is just behind Peanut, which is pretty impressive. I thought the way he executed the team fights was really good. His Dominus uses were great. He appealed very well for Aphelios as much as he could, right? There was just no way for his team to fight after he had great initiations, and all the appeal he was trying to put off wasn't useful because everyone was just getting hit by a bowling ball and sleeping, or just getting hit by a Peanut, literally queuing in their faces.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter, but yeah, this is a rough game for Harmor Life Esports. And yeah, like you talked about the draft, you talked about how they banned the Nidalee away. There were a lot of jungle bans. The Skarner picked
all of last year on the Galio against Gen G. It was absolutely incredible. But that's not what he's going to do. He's going to be playing for the lane, and I actually really like it.
I also feel like this this kind of trap makes the Scion pick not worthless, but it's a lot weaker into the Gragas than it would have been.
It nullifies the matchup completely, right?
Exactly.
Like it's tank wet noodle fight situation.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, it felt like a really nice counter pick to the Renekton, but now it's not as good anymore. But I think a lot of this is going to come down to execution here, Atlas. I mean, Arthur and Chovy are going to have to make some big plays. It is going to be very difficult for Peanut to challenge that mid lane too against a Renekton because he's so squishy. So this is going to be a fun one. Definitely on paper should be a way better game than we saw in game one.
I really also like the fact that this is Harmor Life Esports thinking about their draft much more, critically as they went through it at the same time. So let's hope for no early game shenanigans. Peanut here as Bay. Not too many options as far as getting out of this pit is concerned, as the train does come through. Morgan just sidesteps it, though, as we've got a bit of a 2v2 here on the bottom side. Kellen taking a lot of damage. The heal comes out from Deft as the flash does come through, as Bay gets seismic shoved back. Great cask out from Morgan. Has Chovy no flash, remember, but he crab raves anyway, and the barrel's going to slow down Rich. The flash just a little bit too late, but still, he is going to make it to safety. However, first blood this time goes to Harmwell Life Esports.
Really scary.
Well, we got a fight on the bottom side. Kellen going to get taken down extraordinarily low. I love this. You know, he flashes instantly. Arthur's there to capitalize so far in this game. As another steal on the blue buff is being attempted. Bowling ball going to miss. As there's the Justice Punch. Chovy making his way over, and Bay extraordinarily squishy, but Arthur now finds himself in amongst a whole bunch of members as Deft was looking for a killer instinct, but it's dangerous. He still goes in. Haymaker's available, and that's a sleepy Kai'Sa potentially. They don't even need to press the button. Peanut actually did.
But we've seen Arthur hold that thought.
Yep, there's a headbutt pole. There's a heroic entrance. Is going to allow the Galio to get in there, but the Samira gets the ulti. Deft extraordinarily low, wants to try and trade this kill back. Doesn't have a ward and has to face check, and Doctarm just walks on over and slices him up with a Q.
Significantly in terms of his clear, because he's been looking for so many ganks, but they haven't been as successful as he would have liked to. It could have been a great start in that mid gank, but it didn't work. And now we're going to see this Rift Herald taken by Nongshim as well, it looks like. Peanut's got better smite.
Yep, Peanut's going to be able to take that one down. Rich, though, is going to go extraordinarily low as Morgan doesn't get it with the last boop. And there's the cask. That's going to claim the kill onto the Scion as he body slams back over the wall there. And
yeah, Rich, for more here.
Oh, great flash from Morgan to deny the train ride, but he gets himself the Soul Pointer shield once again. Flicked back and will be taken down as Morgan body slamming him to get himself out of the way, and also a nice mini stun against the wall there onto Peanut. Saw the value that item gives the Renekton in the last game, and also, you know, the entirety of the season, as that's a decent taunt there, but the Samira is just going to take down the support Galio. Kellen soaking up damage with his ulti. Is now Deft trying to get some work done, but he gets knocked up. There's the flash face breaker as another ulti comes through for the Samira, but the set's going to go down. Deft is going to follow. Arthur taken out, and these are more kills going to Doctarm, which is so scary. Chovy, Dominus has been popped. He's waiting for the opportune moment. Gets over the wall, but that's a Scion that he's doing battle with. Finds the snare onto Peanut, who tries to get out, but the flash to follow it up as Chovy's trying to be the monster that we know that he is, but Doctarm gets the ulti, and it's a double kill for the Scion as he walks it out.
But also at the same time, during that Lunar New Year break, Bay he's improved quite a bit. His rotations have been
happened.
Really nice.
He's maybe changed up his breakfast routine or something like that. Added a few extra wheat picks, and things are looking real good. As Morgan just trying to frontline here, as we've got an attempted team fight, but Morgan just taking a lot of free damage at this point in time. You can see Rich doing a fair bit at the beginning of this fight, as in goes the Galio, but that was a little bit of a whoopsie. Kellen is going to use that flick as a taxi to get a really nice pulverized heroic entrance. Is going to come down as Peanut finds himself on the wrong side of the fight, and he will be taken down. Chovy now off towards the backside, and they're getting funneled into this choke point. Again, Nongshim with a lot of extra vision, but Bay's being caught out. There's another slice. The dice will certainly follow here for Chovy and locks down the set. As now Nongshim, they get the train out of the station. Vista will be taken down here. Doctarm gets another ulti. The Samira is huge. Flash out from Deft, but Doctarm still gonna cut him up. Arthur doesn't find another volley, and he makes it over. The wall is going to come through, though, and the Talia locks down the Samira, and Harmwell Life, in the end, do win the fight. We have another fight around Shirley here, potentially brewing, as Chovy's going to make his way up. Bowling ball's going to miss as Deft trying to find some damage. Okay, the Herald going to largely be ignored as Deft Killer Instinct towards the backline. Kellen soaking a lot of damage, though, as Bay trying to do the same thing. Now, Peanut does find Deft, who throws out the heal and isn't going to go down just yet, but Kellen gets in there with the headbutt pulse, and they do get rid of the Kai'Sa. However, will the rest of the fight be taken down? Chovy's, they're trying to kite him as best they can. There are some low health bars. Rich is looking for the knockups, as Doctarm as well getting very close towards that S rank. Isn't quite able to make it, as Baron's going to join. And Vista and Morgan find themselves on the wrong side of the map. Bowling ball comes through as Vista's going to get popped back, and the Justice Punch is good. Even avoiding the Baron is Kellen, going to get taken down by the Baron. Vista with the God play, as now Chovy's looking for Peanut. Should be able to lock that one up, as now Morgan is going to turn up. Doctown finds himself in amongst three. The body slam's great to interrupt the ult. Now, Rich, that is certainly a sad B, because it was looking so good for Nongshim until it absolutely wasn't.
Yeah, it was looking really good for them. Like, they got the damage out of the fight. Arthur and Daft were the players who were dead.
With what they can do as far as resources and snowballing is concerned. Yeah, there's a wall that comes down, trying to break this fight up just a little bit. Kellen and Peanut just wait out the wall, though, as Chovy comes through. Dominus has been popped. He's looking for a target. A's not his option for the stun, and in fact, everyone moves out of the way and just lets Rich die, while Chovy's just gatekeeping. And now Rich's zombie corpse is looking to try and get some damage onto Death, but isn't able to do that.
Collector, right? Because he has so much gold.
I mean, he's huge, yeah.
Yeah, he's even got his cloak online, too. Like, he's massive, so he can finish off targets that are even, you know, higher health than you normally would be when you're looking to ult at this stage in the game, because he is so far ahead. But getting those targets low is the hard part. Peanut's even going to commit his smite here. I don't know about this.
Yeah, and the sleep as the teleport's going to come down. Morgan's trying to make his way in here, as there's the headbutt pulse. Morgan wanting to try and peel for Chovy, who slices, dices, gets himself out. Now Vista does have his ulti available, will throw it down on top of the Gragas, who's surviving for a long time thanks to that shield. And now Def, oh, he just gets turned on yet again. Killer Instinct flashes over the wall. He's going to survive for the moment, but yeah, Doctarm's just a little bit too strong. Presses the R button, takes down the Kai'Sa. And every time Deft gets involved, Nongshim just have magnets on him, man. Like, he just can't do anything this game.
Yeah, Deft has really had a hard time to do it. He can push the issue because he has his shield bow. He's got Collector. And he just has so much more money than Deft does. So Deft can't peel in these fights with his damage. He can't push people back. He can't threaten kills with his Killer Instinct. He can't even Killer Instinct at all. Chovy.
Yeah, he might just be dead as the exhaust comes down. Lilia is going to lock down that kill. And now the rest of Palmer Life are going to turn up. This is not a fight that they really want to take, as Deft once again getting closed in on. Great cask for the disengage.
I mean, look, we're going to 4 games at least, so 25% chance, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. As Rich is continuing to take some damage, but now he's pretty happy to do so, as Vista and Arthur both going to go golden. And that's going to be the showstopper towards the backline. Arthur is just eradicated as Chovy in amongst it, getting a lot of healing done as Deft gets over the wall with Killer Instinct. Kellen gets over to try and stop him here, as he is not going to be able to win that fight against the Kai'Sa, who does have a fair bit of money right now. But you can see Chovy and Morgan trying to do their best, as Deft just sneaking in some Acathian rain from over the wall, as Zombie Rich is trying to chase down Morgan, who walks lazily out of the way. And yeah, like you say, there's some really low health bars, but fighting right now is dicey, especially in a 2 versus 3. Yeah,
this is
super creeps heading through.
So a lot of time bought here for Nongshim. Like, this is working very well for them. Well, not anymore with that death there for Bay. But they bought a lot of time, and there's a lot of pressure in the base.
They might potentially lose a
that's what I'm saying.
A Nexus turret, as this super creep is going to be taken down. There's another wave, so it is going to survive for the moment, but it is limping, one could say. Generally, 2 Nexus turrets is enough at full health to take down 1 wave of super creeps. As Peanut is going to be hunted down, and Def finally getting some revenge as he takes a nap afterwards, but he deserves it. Finally being able to pick up a few kills. And this Baron power play is going to be big, as Rich is going to get pushed back. There's the flick. I like it a lot. The Scion just being thrown around like a ragdoll as Chovy in the front line, but Dominus is going to be there to keep him up. Deft grabbing one of the kills, but Zombie Scion is still there, trying to get some work done. Good face breaker there from Bay, but he's flicked back and destroyed by the Talia. Arthur seems to have got his eye in here at this stage of the game, and unfortunately for Nongshim, they're just sort of throwing themselves on a Alistair, by the way. They are realizing that they want to get some of these grievous wounds, as Bay's getting chunked down. Into the backline goes Chovy, and immediately goes golden as well. The set dealt with, fantastic cast just to cause some chaos. His Doctarm, it's Deft that's looking for him, but the Blade Well is fantastic. Deft going to turn his attention to the cow as the ulti not going to get too much value. Morgan flashes in with a body slam, and the Kai'Sa locks down the Samira. That should be light out here for Nongshim, as of course Doctarm is almost all of their damage. Chovy's dealing with Peanut towards the backside. Bambi, no hope against the Crocodile. And Rich versus Morgan, this is just an extension of that wet noodle fight, as Morgan's just running around taking a drink, and that was really exciting until it wasn't. Meanwhile, the base is just going to be obliterated.
Yep, that's going to be the end of this one. We're going to a game 3 here, Atlas, and it was fun while it lasted, I have to say, but Nongshim was a few bad
I am too. Let's have a look at this post-match graph as Peanut once again just doing ludicrous amounts of damage. But look at Def being able to turn it around, grabbing 30k for the Harmer Life Esports squad. And definitely need to give him some kudos. Definitely a lot more damage being done by Arthur this time around as well. I actually feel like the Talia nerf was perfect, right? Just cut down her early clear speed, but still keep her as, you know, the champion that she is, who's able to contribute so well. Yeah, I think it was actually very clever.
The same, for sure. I like it the same way I like the Pantheon nerf. You know, it makes him still exactly the same champion as he was before, except that he can't jungle, right? So
yeah,
it limits his ability to roam from the jungle with his ultimate into faraway lanes, like globally roam for ganks. And
ridiculous in those sort of circumstances. So compositionally, I think that Nongshim have set themselves up some really, really great stuff. Seraphine fell through the draft, which is real crazy. This is it's just a strange series. Wolf, I don't really necessarily understand. However, I do like, as you say, what Nongshim have put together. So let's see whether they can make it work as we hop onto the Rift for our final game of the series. 2018 was the last time that we saw this matchup. Good stuff. As Morgan's going to flash. Peanut coming through for the level 2 gank. I like. And he flashes over. And okay,
oh, he has to go, right?
Surely.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, well, there's no flash, remember. Get some vision there with the pillar. One of its many great uses. Slice, dice. Morgan gets out scot-free. And now Chovy's going to turn up, and Peanut, no flash to get himself out of this one. Gravity Field is there, and a bit of yakety sax, but we get a crab rave for it as Chovy grabs first blood.
And not as bad reverse. Just going to see a little cracker call here. Don't think there's more than they can do, even with the 6.
Yep, Doctor throwing out the ultimate as Vista gets the flash out of him. Very nicely done. Deft over to the side. Blade Whirl is available, though, so Deft looks a little bit silly after pressing the Killer Instinct button. Still able to poke them down underneath the turret. There's the crash down as Deft throws out the claim. Vista's going to die.
Yeah, but it was so well executed. That's a fun little all-in to see. Kind of turn on its head there. Really like to see it. Duckdom getting fed again early. I mean, it's only 1 kill, but it's a good start.
Well, now Arthur is going to be running away. The Subjugate is down onto the Skarner as Morgan looking for some damage onto Rich. He's just going to farm behind this turret. Bay walks in, but he's very low. The Scat of the Week doesn't really work out. There's the Hex Flash from Vista. Headbutt, but the flash is out of the way of the Pulverize. Bay now, without a flash, is actually a big deal against a lane with Chovy in it. As Peanut comes through, puts down the pillar. Arthur now caught out of position. He's going to be taken down. We got to cue the yakety sax yet again.
Yeah, looks
like we're gonna get bored of that song, man.
Yeah, it's pretty overzealous if he wants to try to make a play here happen in mid because Bay is just so pushed, but he's going for it anyways.
Yep, Peanut gonna get stunned up here a little bit as immediately the Subjugate hasn't actually been used. I tell a lie, is now Arthur trying to run away. There's the crash down, Magnet Storm, and a very dead Scorpion. Chovy not quite able to offer enough damage back, and once again, Arthur finding himself with a 0-2 scoreline.
This is a little bit of a different situation here for Kellen as he tries to come in, but...
Yeah, there's the Pulverize. Kellen is going to go golden here as Peanut. Now looking for a little bit more. Arthur lying in wait. Still has the Impale available, I think, as there's the barrel. Chovy going to use his flash to taxi his way out. Morgan's farming on the top side. Yes! So glad that we're looking at that as the disengage was successful in the mid lane.
Across the board is going to make this transition a lot easier.
Ooh, Arthur... being very sneaky is this Scorpion as Deft over to the side. Immediately, Peanut's just going to flash away. Doesn't want anything to do with this, but still, they get under the turret. They take him down. Headbutt is going to create enough distance, and he's going to be taken. Morgan now looking for Docdom. The Magnet Storm used defensively is very nice from Kellen to keep Docdom alive. Whether it's going to be enough, though, is the question. As Killer Instinct comes down, Kellen gets the heal from Docdom, looking to try and keep him alive. The Blade Well's fantastic as well. Oh, my goodness, they are best friends on the bottom side. You just breathe on it just a little bit, but instead, Shirley's just going to cram her noggin into it. Rich now looking for a flanking play as the rest of Nongshim do converge. Fantastic pillar. And there's the Magnet Storm. This is what we were talking about. The headbutt back, though, onto the Rel is going to get her out of there. And Harmer Life Esports with a fantastic answer.
I feel like as long as Arthur gets anybody with his suppression there, if he actually gets that all off, like, I mean, it's a 5v4 and there's so much damage, it's so stable.
Yeah, Morgan unfortunately doesn't get his dice, as he does at least have a Gore Drinker, which does keep him up for a little bit longer. Arthur now trying to help out. Chovy comes down and he's just going to pick up the pieces. Morgan actually happy to dive back in as Gravity Field's going to stop this Gragas from doing anything, and that's in fact just a double kill for the Renekton.
Great end up talking it if he did. Well, he's just so hard to kill.
Well, Kellen's in once again, does find a decent stun there with the Attract Repel, but now that the Aftershock is down, he's a little bit squishy. Vista finds a two-man Pulverize, but will get stunned on the back end. There's the headbutt away onto Doctor, but now he's looking for Deft. Does get interrupted there with the Chaos Storm, but finally ticks down. I think that was the last bit of a Cathian Rain falling there from Deft from beyond the grave, and that is going to secure that one.
We've had better Gragas game from him.
Yep, that's the dead Samira. She's real dead. Smeared on the Rift. Currently is Harmon Life Esports now.
It would be, in theory, I think we're going to watch this one more time, or nope, we're going a little bit further back. It's just being picked. This is a really nice play by Arthur. The follow flash there.
Yeah.
She takes, and they failed multiple times, and now they're just going to call them back.
Yep. Now that cask actually landed. That hit like 5 people. Definitely trying to make up for lost time as the Magnet Storm comes in, but a little bit defensive there from Kellen as they move on back to Chaos Storm, ripping them to shreds. As Morgan's just playing body block here for this one, as this Baron is getting taken down extraordinarily quickly. Arthur's health bar as well is suffering, but now the fight is on. Kellen trying to get out, does crash down his way to safety as Chovy gets himself out of there, but that's a great scat of the week, but still not quite able to get any of these kills. They looking for it, and Doctor's still trying to catch up, and this is what a fight looks like without the Samira there. Barrels coming through, Gravity Field's fantastic though, as Vista is just dead, as Deft now finds himself in a choke point, and the Samira grabs herself a double kill. I think there was an opportunity for Harmon Life to get out of there.
Yes.
And everyone else is actually doing pretty well, aside from Vista there on the bottom side, but Sport Gold not exactly quite as relevant, as Deft is now looking for Peanut, Attract Repel to give him that extra defensiveness. Morgan does find the flank, but now he finds himself in amongst 5 people, but he's a Renekton with a Gore Drinker, and he's doing pretty well because of that fact. Chovy raining the Death Rays down as Rich looking to try and get out of there. The Impale not quite able to get the value as Deft is frontlining, but there's the Killer Instinct to get him out. The gameplay button nowhere near enough from Bay, as Rich clinging to life as best he can, and they do manage to take down the cow, but Morgan has now found Doctarm. That was just an afterthought of a Cull the Meek to take down the Renekton, to take down the Gragas. And now Doctarm, he can't really get too many S ranks there, as Morgan is just way too big. 5-0-4 on the Renekton.
2 minutes and 20 away from that. Baron's up soon. And Nongshim they cannot be out here like this.
Well, Peanut is trying to keep himself alive, but he's going to get impaled, brought on back in. Deft is free hitting. The Troll is going to go down, and now Kellen does all that he can with all of his buttons, but it's not enough to save the Troll. And Harmon Life, they've taken down the jungler, and guess what that means?
If you're Nongshim and you have to fight for this spot, your chances of winning it are so low. I mean, you saw Peanut sit back in his chair and have that cheeky laugh because he knows this game is falling out of his control.
Yeah, Vista off to the side. He's going to buy a fair bit of time here as he headbutts Kellen back. The Baron has been taken down. Sacrificial cow. And you will be missed, my friend. Does buy enough time to make sure the Baron is free.
Shouldn't be shown on TV. Like, I mean,
I'm frightened about what happens when Morgan presses this Gore Drinker button. That's going to be real scary as he's fighting Rich towards the bottom side. Yeah, Peanut dies. That was in the blink of an eye. I had a brief glance towards the battle between the Gragas and the Renekton, and Peanut was dead as Rich does a bit of a sad B, and you can understand exactly why. Harmon Life bearing down on the Nexus turrets now. 2 inhibitors taken very, very swiftly.
Well, this has been a series, Atlas.
It has.
Esports really ran away with this third game. This is the decisive victory they were looking for.
Well, here's the last-ditch effort. Chovy's just going to press his denial button to Rich, who's just going to die subsequently. And now Morgan looking to take down Samira, who is just going to get impaled and brought back. Bay just trying to keep himself alive as Peanut is back into the thick of things yet again. And yeah, Vista's going to die. The 0-6 cow is very unhappy as Deft is also going to try his luck going golden here on the fountain, and he will also be taken as everyone just funneling in to have a bit of fun. And I think that really does epitomize what has been a very fun series for both of these teams. As Arthur, maybe just tap the Nexus a couple of times, please, as Chovy's going to get that work done.
And take it out, but take a look at the post-game and the damage outputs here. Look at Chovy's damage. Like, that's what I'm talking about. He was unpunished because the Renekton gave so much space in every single fight because he was so fed and had his Sterox so early that Chovy was able to do tons in this game. He was ahead early. You mentioned it. He was like 2,000 gold ahead at like, maybe 13 to 15 minutes, something like that. He was massively ahead early. And then Renekton gave him all the space to just keep getting further and further ahead. It was pretty incredible what the two of them were able to do. And then, Def's job was just to clean up, and that he did.
Yeah,